Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin mi naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. And maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants. Those are the Lapa Lapa, Puerto Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos Beach, and the El Dorado Restaurant and Beach Club right next door. So you can enjoy that fantastic view of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week, I'm going to take you to a new favorite restaurant of mine, and I'm going to introduce you to my new friend, Cesar Patron from Azul Bistro. But before we get to that, let's see what's happening in Puerto Vallarta the 7th of April, 2019. Remember that today is the day that the time springs forward in paradise. Set your clocks and watches forward 1 hour in the morning. This Sunday, the 7th, and remember that with that time change also comes the change of the time for JR's meet and greet over at Kelly's Por Favor Saloon and Cookhouse. You're going to now find JR at 6:30 in the evening at Kelly's every Tuesday evening until the time changes again in the fall. So keep that in mind when you're coming to town and you want to drop in on my buddy JR. Remember now, every Tuesday at Kelly's Por Favor, starting at 6:30. And I will be there next month, May 14th. Again, the following Tuesday on May the 21st. And we'll talk about that as the dates get closer, okay? All right, it is that time of year again, my friends. And our friends over at the Vallarta Botanical Garden are asking for your help. And once again, the USA Today is having their Reader's Choice 10 Best Botanical Garden and Arboretum contest. And currently, the Vallarta Botanical Garden is in 6th place, but there's still some time left to turn the tide, folks. So vote for your favorite botanical garden. You know which one. Vote once per day until the polls close on Monday, April the 22nd at noon Eastern Time. And the winners will be chosen by you and will be announced on Friday, May the 3rd. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can at least get in the top 3, shall we? So let's follow that link that I put in the show notes to the 10 Best Garden USA poll, and make sure that you get out and vote every day until the 22nd of April. Remember to vote early and vote often. The end of the season is coming in Puerto Vallarta, including the end of Season 2 at our favorite place, Parque de los Azulejos, Tile Park. And we're going to get a wrap-up from Natasha Moraga next month. And, of course, we will be there again to help her kick off her 3rd season. Can you believe it? It's going to be the 3rd season coming up this October. What an incredible job they've done with that park. It's beyond anything that I ever imagined. You know, if you remember from the first time we talked with Natasha and we looked at the renderings that they had of the park, and I actually posted them way back when. You could probably look back at them. It is interesting to compare them because the end product is just so much nicer. It's so much cooler, and the designs are amazing. Anyway, I'm sure that many of you have been down there, and I am also sure, because I've heard from a lot of you, that you have also contributed your time and your money to this really, really great project. I want to thank you all for that, and let's just see if what it looks like at the end of season 3. It's going to be fantastic. I wonder how many seasons it's going to take, don't you? Lots of benches, lots of planters. There's lots of space and lots of room that still needs to be mosaic tiled. So I'm so excited for you folks over there at Tile Park PV. And I am, again, so thrilled that the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show's audience has stepped up and really helped out there. So as I was saying, the end of the tourist season is fast approaching. And that means that we're going to be seeing the last of things like the sculpture tours by Gary Thompson. The art walk should be closing season pretty soon until next October. There are some bands and venues that will start cutting back. But the excitement of the coming Mexican calendar, the upcoming holidays, fast approaching as well. We have Semana Santa and Pascua. They're all coming back. They're all coming back. They're all coming up. They come back every year, right, Barry? Yes, they do. All right. They're all coming up from, let's see, Semana Santa from April the 14th through the 21st. And then Easter and the following week is known as Pascua. And we're going to be talking about that next week. But if you are listening now to this show and you're heading down to Puerto Vallarta during those times, be forewarned, folks, it is a really crazy, crazy busy time. It's crowded during Semana Santa. It's the spring break for all of Mexico. And the schools are out. The people are out with their families. They're all traveling around, or they're taking some time off. And the Mexican nationals, they flock down to the beaches here in Puerto Vallarta and in Nuevo. And as a result, the beaches, the roads, they're going to be crowded, okay? But if those things don't scare you away, and you're already down here, or you're going to be down here, you're going to have a great time. You're going to witness things like the processions and passion plays if you want. There's just lots and lots of surprises for you if you happen to be coming down to town from the 14th through the 21st, and Easter Sunday, the following week, So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but just a heads up to you lucky folks that are coming down and are going to get the experience of those holidays. Now, a couple months back, we went down to El Tuito, as you'll recall, town southeast of Puerto Vallarta, up in the hills, about an hour or so away. It's just a little bus ride up there, up to Cabo Corrientes, and then and then we went from there. We went to the beach, right? We went to El Rinconcito in Maito. That was some time ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And if you remember, in El Tuito, we talked with Bonnie Jaregue from that really cool place, Rancho Primavera, a birding sanctuary with some really great, just fantastic accommodations for visitors to stay in, and to stay and birdwatch and hike and use as, kind of a jumping off spot for things that you can do around El Tuito and around El Cabo Corrientes, like go down to the beach and, just check out all these really great places. And in fact, you need to go back and listen to that episode if you haven't with Bonnie. She talks about some great places that you can go and visit and use Rancho Primavera as a jumping off point to be able to do that. So anyway, at the end of that podcast, I mentioned that Bonnie's mom, Pat, was in the hospital, and Bonnie was with her in Arizona at that time at her side. And Bonnie had mentioned that things didn't look good for her mom, and that And I had promised that I would, keep you advised as to what was going on over at Rancho Primavera. And since we are all a family here on the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show, I think we mustn't forget our friends. So, I was talking with Maddie and Jesse down at their place in El Tuito, over that new place they have at La Jolla del Tuito, right off the town square. And they told me that that Bonnie's mom had indeed passed away. And so I contacted Bonnie, and of course I expressed our condolences. And I asked her how she was getting along and if she could fill us in on how things are going over at Rancho Primavera and what kind of changes that they had to make now that Pat wasn't around to help any longer with breakfast and food service and so on. And here's what Bonnie said. She said, "Hi, Barry. Thanks for your email and your kind words. Not too much has changed as far as Rancho Primavera goes. The rental houses are completely unchanged. And as far as the groups coming to the guest rooms, I will continue to receive groups, but only offer breakfast. It was just too hard in January trying to do 2 meals a day by myself. Daybirders are all still welcome. Come by and visit sometime when you are in this part of the world. And again, thanks for your kindness, Bonnie Herege." So thank you, Bonnie. Thanks so much for getting back to me. And listen, you guys, if you are considering staying in El Tuito, her place is wonderful. And I have a link to that episode at Rancho Primavera in the show notes. So listen to it if you haven't already, and consider staying at the Rancho. And this is the place that I like to refer to as the Garden of Eden. You'll find out when you get there. I have pictures of her place in the show notes from that episode, and I'll also link that episode up in the show notes as well, as I said. So we will see you in May, Bonnie, and all of us listeners here are certainly sending their good thoughts and their good wishes to you. And, well, I have lots of places to visit when I go down your way in Cabo Corrientes and El Tuito. So we'll see you soon, Bonnie. All right, I got, like I said last week, and like I say, whenever I get some great emails, I love getting emails. I got an email from Rebecca maybe a month ago. She said, "Hi, Barry, I need to book a cooking class for 4 in PV. Trying for this Saturday the 9th or Monday the 11th. Hope this is possible. Listen to PV Travel Show all the time. Great job entertaining us. Thanks, Rebecca." So I responded to her and I said, "Hi, Rebecca, I have 3 suggestions for you. There's Cesar over at Gabby's restaurant downtown. They have an excellent class on Mondays. Let's see here. I also told her about Mavi Graf over at the Marina and about Carmen Porras from El Arian downtown. All of those have classes Monday and Saturday for Carmen Porras and Mavi Graf. You just need to call her and make a reservation. So all of them would be terrific classes. Let them know that you heard about them from Barry on the podcast. And he said that he would take care. He said that you would take good care of them. LOL. Let me know which one you pick and tell me about it. Thanks for listening. So I got this email back. Hola, Barry. I had a wonderful week in PV. It was a girls' trip. The cooking class was the highlight of our week. We ended up going to Puerto Vallarta with Enrique Chavalas. Went to Mercado Palmar de Almara, the market by the Walmart and Sam's Club for the produce and the meat. Very informative. And then we went to his home to cook with his wife and his sister-in-law. We made tamales and mole, ground cacao beans to make chocolate, and made tortillas. It was loads of fun. Cooking and tequila tasting. What could be better? Told him about you, and he said he talked to you a few years ago. I'll have to look up that old podcast. We all will be going to more cooking classes when we return, thinking we'll try Gabby's next time. We also took the day trip to Yalapa and Mahuitas, saw whales on the way. What majestic creatures. Blessed to see a baby and a mother. Very relaxing time at Mahuitas, snorkeling and beach time, lunch on the boat, and then on to Yalapa. Hiked up to the waterfall, which was amazing. Sat on the beach there in chairs provided by our tour, feet in the sand, a few cervezas. It was wonderful. Would encourage anyone to take this tour. Need to go back to Yalapa and explore the little town more. Thanks for the recommendations. Keep up the good work. Rebecca. P.S. Ms. Maloya is my second home. Both my husband and I have given you 5-star reviews. Ray and Rebecca. All right. Rebecca, that sounds like a great cooking class. And what a great trip to Mahuitas and to Yalapa. Now, I have not interviewed Cookin' Vallarta with Enrique Chavalas yet, but now he's definitely on my list. And thank you so much for listening and for writing about your experiences. This is all I ask of you folks. It's great. It's great information, you guys. Once again, this is a subtle hint to all of you. Maybe not so subtle. Maybe just like a little whack on the head. Anyway, it's a hint nonetheless to write in, email me your suggestions, tell me about your experiences, and tell me about your questions that you have, maybe your frustrations, your thrill of victories, your agony of defeat. I want it all. This way we, as a group, we're all going to benefit. So, Becky, thanks again. And maybe one of these days, I'll get together with you and Ray in beautiful Puerto Vallarta. Now, I have to apologize to you, Rebecca, for taking so long to get back to you. And also to all of you, too, because, as many of you know, this podcasting thing is not my full-time gig. This is a hobby for me. And so I don't make any money doing these. I sell homes for a living in Southern California. And, currently I'm in 6 escrows right now. So business is cooking, but I sometimes have to delay putting out an episode in favor of, doing my real job. So if I miss a show or if I'm just a little late, I guess you have realized right now I'm off my regular schedule, and I'm really sorry for that. But just remember, I'm going to be here for you. If you're here for me. So thanks for listening. And once again, be patient if I'm a little late coming out with an episode. Okay, I had one other item, but I think we ought to get to the interview right now. We'll get to that other item next week. We'll put it off. Now, how do we find restaurants, when we're walking around in Puerto Vallarta? Sometimes we're just walking, right? Looks interesting from the outside, and there's people eating in there, and you figure, okay, it's got to be good. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Other times you go to Yelp, you go to TripAdvisor, Facebook, maybe a particular podcast, word of mouth, that kind of thing. So I got this recommendation from my friend Memo Lira, and you will remember Memo Lira from Vallarta 101 Tours. Last year, I interviewed him sitting on the beach right in front of Cuates, and while we were talking about his favorite breakfast restaurants, he mentioned Azul Bistro. And he described an egg dish that they made there, which I said I needed to try. Actually, he mentioned 2 dishes that I wanted to try. So I decided I'm going to go over there and give this place a go. So I had this Eggs Benedict done with arrachera, thin sliced beef, and then like some sort of a chipotle sauce on top. It was really, really good. Everything on the menu looked really good. So it was really difficult for me to make that choice. But that was one of the 2 that Memo had mentioned, and I figured I was going to go ahead and try it. So after I ate, I paid, because that's what I always do. I don't want any of these people that I interview to think that I want anything for free. I don't want booze. I don't want food. I don't want accommodations. I don't want anything, okay? I just want their stories. So I asked Cesar Patron if he would allow me to interview him, and he agreed, and I came back the very next day. After he had served his last lunch client, I set up at one of the three, I don't know, we've got 3 or 4 tables outside on the sidewalk out in front of the restaurant. Now, the inside of the restaurant is set with a handful of tables. It's got beautiful art on the walls, colorful, it's open, clean restrooms, and you can actually look right into the kitchen. It's a small kitchen, but you can look right into the kitchen, and you can watch them cook if you want to as well. Azul Bistro is located right across the street from our friend Filipe Reyes from Filipe's massage studio, and right off of Basillio Badillo, but it's kind of hidden, right? It's like around the corner from Fredy's Tucan, for example, if you want kind of a landmark. So it's actually straight up the street on Vallarta from Fredy's. Just a couple of doors across from Basillio Badillo. So let's go right now to Ignacio Vallarta, 372, and let's meet this owner of a gem of a restaurant in the romantic zone of Puerto Vallarta. Let me introduce you to my new friend, Cesar Patron from Azul Bistro. Cesar, thanks for letting me talk with you today.
Well, thank you to you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and what was your path that led you here to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, I'm from south of Mexico, Chiapas, Tuxtla Gutierrez. But since I was little, I just moved to Guadalajara. That's where I grew up. And then I had certain kind of problems in the school. I was not that good, and so I decided to move to Puerto Vallarta 32 years ago. So I started up here. I got stuck, and since then, I've been here.
So 32 years ago, you got to Puerto Vallarta, you fell in love, and you figured, okay, I'm going to plant myself right here.
Right here, and there was in that time there was a good options to make money. There was completely different, like it's right now. Like it was a small town, but really busy. It was a lot of money in town, so that's what I decided to stay up here. So I'm start working in discotecas and bars and whatever in that time was it. And I was doing pretty good so far, and I had my first business when I was I started saving money, and I had my first business when I was 22 years old.
Oh wow, what was that?
And they used to call, actually there was one of the bars they have, there was a restaurant, but I have a partner that he don't know. I used to go to Canada to work every summer, right? And then we set it out the restaurant. And the summer, I go back to Canada for work. And when I go back, well, there was not a more restaurant. There was a bar. He switched the whole thing. It was a rock and roll bar. Actually, one of the first ones with the have live music. Okay. They used to call Si Señors.
Si Señors.
No, nothing.
It's not the same one now.
No, nothing to do with that. That was after. There's right 2 restaurants.
Yeah.
There's after.
Okay,
so there was original.
That's not the original Si Señor.
No, the original Si Señor. There was. I'm talking about 28 years ago. Yeah, and there was right here in Olas Altas.
Olas Altas,
okay. That's where everything started. I was too young, and I don't really figure out what the money situation was. I got too crazy making money in that time. I was too young, so 2-3 years, that's all they take. And then we got broke. So that was a nice experience, to start it.
Okay, so that was your first. That was your first experience, and actually owning a restaurant.
Yeah, that was my first experience.
All right, so you moved on from there. What did you do after that?
After that, I met some interesting people. There, I was managing an Italian restaurant, one of the best Italian restaurants with us in that time. I used to call the Franco's, and I was manager. And then I started saving money. And after a while, I got married, and I decided to open another restaurant. The ones that we built right here in Basillio Badillo, when that street that was completely empty. There was only a few restaurants in that time, and that was a really successful business. There was a barbecue place, all you can eat. They used to call Asadero's Grill, right on the middle of Basillio Badillo. And there was a success business. I mean, there was a really, really busy restaurant. It was all you can eat. I had that place for 18 years.
Whoa.
and I got divorced. And you know what happens,
and
the rest.
S
You know the
happens.
rest, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, you know the rest. So,
Yeah. So restaurant
we
disappeared.
flip a coin and say, what do you want, money or business? And I lost, and so I guess she got the restaurant, and I got a little bit of money. And then, and that's it. So I was doing nothing for a couple years. I take a little break. So the time that I decided to do something again, I was running out of money. I had too much money left, so I built a miniature golf in Nueva Vallarta. I rented 2 acres, and second entrance to Nueva Vallarta, and I put a miniature golf, 18 holes, pot, really beautiful with some lakes, rivers. It was a good, beautiful miniature golf, and. I was going well, and situation about the flu. I don't know if you guys remember that. The flu.
Yes, that stupid
disease,
swine flu.
The swine flu. So the business was good, and they started getting slow, and I was paying a lot of money for rent. There was 2 acres, so the business started getting slow, and I started all money.
Uh-huh.
So I decided to sell. To sell it, I sell it for nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing, you know. So
shame.
yeah, it was another experience. And then I keep working. I started working in restaurants with like waiting tables and all that, and start saving money again, and there we go. Now, I just got Azul Bistro
And
a year
now
ago.
we're here at Azul
Bistro.
Bistro. So you opened a year ago.
A year ago, September last year.
Wow. All right. So for being open a year, you're getting a lot of attention.
Oh yeah, you know what? Since I opened, especially I know a lot of people. They're being involved in me. Like I know a lot of clients. And soon they know that I was going to open my business.
Right.
They've been helping a lot, and they've been talking because the things that I do here, I do right. You know, like that's what they call Azul Bistro, simple and good food. You know, because we try to make it right. And, you know, people love it. And actually, you know, who's in charge to do that, the same people, they write in nice things, and Yelp and TripAdvisor and Facebook, they really, if you check it up, I mean, there's really nice things they write about us, you know.
Yeah,
they
there
will.
sure are.
So that means that we're doing the right things, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
All right.
so
tell us about your menu.
The menu is very simple. It's I mean, I don't try to complicate myself. It's real simple, but we have a lot of flavors, you know. We do try to do things that nobody else do, like another breakfast place that they're around here. But the traditional, you know, there's the traditional American breakfast. So we try to do something different. We have 5 different salsas for chilaquiles. I have some poached eggs breaded with Parmesan cheese and bread. I mean, and spinach puree salsas. I mean, there are a couple interesting things, you know, like it's a really short menu, but lots of flavors, you know.
Uh-huh.
And twice a week we try to do dinners, and I don't open actually in the nighttime because to be here all day is kind of, you know, too tired, but we do twice a week, and every time we do dinner, we're full because what we do is 1 dish, but we do perfectly, you know, like we try to do the perfect way that it is, and it's like a 3-course menu. So yeah, we got a lot of people too, and people love it what I do.
So what are you making tonight?
Tonight we're gonna have chiles en nogada.
Chiles en nogada. That's going to be your main course of your 3-course
That's
meal.
the main course. The main course. I will serve first a salad. It's a salad, the main course, and dessert. So simple and easy. I don't complicate it myself. You know, make it easy.
Make it easy for everybody.
Everybody. So,
you know, when you walk up to the table, you go, what do you want?
What do you want? You can even choose that 20, 35 things on the menu, right? So that's what we try to do. You know, make it simple and easy.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's what it is.
Good. You have a crazy dish that does it's these eggs that are wrapped up and deep fried.
That's what I'm telling you. One that has wrapping Parmesan cheese with bread.
That's the Parmesan cheese. And
The
bread.
Parmesan cheese, so they can stick together. It's like a Scotland eggs. You know, there are a lot of people there. Oh, this is like a Scotland eggs. Yeah, but the Scotland eggs, they had some bacon around, so I don't do it that way. I just do the bread and the Parmesan and turn really good. And I make a little bit spinach puree, and yeah, they're really good. They're really popular.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people like that.
Excellent. You also serve drinks? You have a bar?
Yeah, I have a bar. I have some margaritas. I have wine. I mean, I don't have a full bar. Mm-hmm. You can tell that the place is not that big. I don't have really space for a full bar.
Yeah.
I hope so by next season I will make a little bit changes so I can put a bar, so I can have a full bar.
Have a full bar.
But yeah, I had some margaritas, wine, piñas coladas, and just normal things that I can put it on. No,
excellent.
So that's good.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, people around here like to drink for some reason. I don't know why.
Beers.
How many tables you got in there? How many can you seat?
I can seat 29 people.
Okay, good.
It's small. This is a small place, but I mean, it's really cute. I like the way it is. You know.
Yeah, it's a great place.
It's a great place.
You found a good spot.
It's small. It's a good spot, and everybody likes. Every people they come up here, they really enjoy to be here.
It's not busy, you guys. There's not cars. As you can see, we're sitting on the street. Or you can hear right now, we're sitting on the street. There are not a bunch of cars going up and down the street. This is right across the street from Filipe's. So you guys know where that is. And let me ask you a couple questions. Let's move away from Azul Bistro just for a minute here. If you were going to get out of town for a day, and but you're going to come back, where would you go?
Like if I want to get out of town for to lunch or whatever,
or just spend the day somewhere. And
I would like to go places there is nobody around. Like if I want, it's not like every day. Tourists and speak English all day.
Right, your head starts hurting.
You get tired, so you want to go to a place you don't want to hear anything sometimes, and so sometimes I like to stay at home. Or we go to the beach at Boca Tomates to have some nice seafood up there. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
I
they
like
do a lot of fish over there at Boca Tomates.
Yeah, Boca Tomates. I like to spend a couple cervezas and get a nice fish up there too,
Good.
And
excellent. All right, so where are we going to go for like 2 days? I mean, let's just say a 3-day weekend. If you were going to split out of town, let's say.
If I had 3 days off, I'll go to see my daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, we can't go do that.
She lives in Guadalajara, and that's the first thing I will love to do.
Well, you like Guadalajara.
I love Guadalajara.
You would just go. You go to Guadalajara.
I grew up in Guadalajara.
All right, you don't have to go see.
And I enjoy it every time that I'm going up there. Because I know a lot of people, and there's a lot of things to do, and steerers and music and everything. You
have a suggestion? You have a suggestion for somebody who is going to go to Guadalajara? You got something that they can't miss?
Wow. I mean, the shopping. I mean, like a park is beautiful. Tonalá, there's really good places to go and check it out. Lake Chapala is growing up there. It's a really nice place. It's getting busy. It's getting busy up there. I mean, that's the close thing you can go. Like
right.
You want to make a nice short trip, you can go to Tequila Town and check it out. How do they do the real tequila? Because there's some places around here in Puerto Vallarta they say they have a factory, but it's not true. They're fake.
They're pulling your leg.
They only try to grab your money. Grab the money and spend your money. 150 bottles. Then I never seen it before, So that's not right. If you want to see something interesting, the Tequila Town is not that far. It's only 2.5 hours drive. So I mean, this is a good place to go and check it out. How do they make the tequila? The big factories, Yeah. And there's a lot of little towns around there. There's, folklore,
Yeah.
Really good place to go. If
Perfect.
you want.
Great. Those are great suggestions. If you had a word of advice for a first-time visitor, what would it be?
Well, for the first visitor, the first time, just don't get too rushed and the things they're gonna do. First check, because I hate to say that, but there's a lot of bandidos around. Bandidos in a good way, They only see the dollars and they're gonna sell you whatever, and sometimes you can get hurt. So first, you guys check it out around. Don't be patient. Be patient. Take your time and see what's going on first.
Good.
And then you start taking your own decisions, right?
Exactly. Do your studies. Do your homework. First, make sure,
making sure that you're exactly, because I've seen a lot of people got hurt. That happens to me. A really good friend of mine, they just moved here and they bought a condo, and they already pay for the whole thing, and they take it away. The same owner, they take the apartment away. I don't believe it. I don't like that kind of people, and I feel I'm Mexican, but from one we can say jerk, we can lose so many, right? And it's not supposed to be that way.
All right, so do your homework and do the things that we tell you to do on the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. If you're going to do something stupid like that, get yourself a Mexican lawyer, okay?
Oh, exactly.
All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to Azul Bistro.
All right.
You have owned many restaurants, it sounds like, and you also just opened this one up a year ago. Any challenges getting this open? Any challenges getting what you want done here?
Yeah, there is, and I like being the top. I want the people talk about it. That's my challenge. I mean, is something that I really care is the people. First. I want every customer that walk into my restaurant, they laugh with this big smile and they say, I like when they say everything is good, fine, I love it, and this is the best thing that can happen to me. That's my challenge.
That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want from everybody. And that's what makes you happy when
that's
that
what
happens.
Made me happy,
right?
Exactly. That's what made me happy.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, exactly.
So that's good.
All right. You have any trouble getting your ingredients, or do you just you gear your food to local ingredients?
I use the local ingredients, and it's not that hard. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy, and everything is fresh. Whatever I do, like I got a small kitchen. Whatever I do every day is fresh. If it's something wrong, I run away from something. Sorry, I don't have that anymore, and tomorrow will be another day.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to do that.
Okay.
So people can get fresh things and live with a big smile.
Right. Exactly. Well, now you do serve some alcohol here. You see anything crazy ever?
No, really.
Good.
Well, yeah. Well, see, some guys have a margarita 8 o'clock in the morning and.
Yeah. Well, I think it ruins them for the rest of the day.
With
man.
eggs. I don't think so, but.
Customer's always right?
Yeah, but whatever. That's what they want. That's what we serve.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All
right. Fantastic. Have we forgotten anything? Is there something else that we need to talk about?
I don't know.
No?
It's
okay.
know.
You don't have to then. Tell us where you're at. Where do we find you?
Well, we're in Ignacio Vallarta 372 and a half a block from Basillio Badillo and Olas Altas. Well, Emiliano Zapata. That's the name of the neighborhood. Emiliano Zapata.
Exactly.
Azul Bistro.
Yeah, Azul Bistro. You guys got a Facebook page?
Yeah, we got a Facebook page.
Okay. What about we got a website yet?
I still, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I mean, just learning how to use all these things, because, it's kind of hard for me.
Hey,
But, me and the technology, we don't get along. But I hate, like, phones, phones. I can be more in the phone for leaving messages or things like that, writing things. I can do that. So I just prefer to call and
the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
All right, so I'm going to have his phone.
But I had a Facebook. I have some people having to do that, and I have,
All right, and you're on Yelp too.
Yeah, we're on Yelp and TripAdvisor. You can check what they said about us.
Yeah,
and
it's all good, guys. It's all good, you guys. All right, so I'll have links to all of those things in the show notes for this episode, so you check that out. I'll even have a Google map that'll take you to the front door of Azul Bistro, except for it won't look like Azul Bistro because it's going to be an old picture because Google. I think the last time the Google guy came. Oh, did he come by lately?
Yeah. I think I checked it out. Yeah, there was a picture.
Right on.
Google, I think.
Okay, then it'll be right there in the show notes for this episode, so you won't have any trouble finding Cesar, and you won't have any trouble finding Azul Bistro. And when you come to Puerto Vallarta next time, check them out.
I will appreciate that.
All right.
And we'll see you.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Cesar. He has a great little restaurant going on there. I got to tell you, lots of restaurant experience, right? Like over 30 years of restaurant experience with this one individual. So the restaurant is new. It's a little hard to find. So just to repeat myself, I have a map in the show notes, and they're going to help you out. Once you found Azul Bistro, I'm going to tell you what, you're going to be thanking me. You are going to return there every time that you return to paradise. I promise you that. Of course, now you got to cross another one off of your list so that you can make room for Azul Bistro, okay? Well, either that or just extend your stay, It's really easy. All right. Well, that should do it this week for the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips and great restaurant and excursion ideas and more. And until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and your suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, then please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and send us your message. And remember, if you are considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com. That's JR's website, and reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition, my friends. JR's experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else, so just do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, he has his maps, his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board, and more. And of course, I have links to all of those things in the show notes, so check them out, okay? Now, once again, if you like this podcast, please take the time and subscribe and give me a good review, if you would. That way we can get the word to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with every episode I create. And if you haven't been to my website, shame on you. Get over there. You really need to have a look there. I have links to the places that we talked about. I have interesting pictures and more, all right there in the blog posts and in the show notes for each episode of the show. So check them out for sure, all right? All right. Hey, thank you, Cesar Patron from Azul Bistro. Check out this little restaurant next time you're in Paradise. Like I said, I got pictures of this place. I got the food pictures. I got the map. I think you're right there in the... It's really great. You are going to be thanking me, I'm telling you. And thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler, signing off with a wish for all of you to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino, perno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río, cuando todo está en calma, pronto cae la noche, me brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta.